Now, this is what I was saying. If you meet the education and experience requirements and pass the multiple choice test, your name will be placed in final score order on an eligible list, and you will be given a list number and you will be notified by email of your test results. So, what that means is if 1,000 people take the test, if 100 people pass the test, then they will be listed in order from 1 to 100 in terms of who scored the highest. The eligible list determines the order by which candidates will be considered for appointment. So that means that the people who score the highest will be considered first for the jobs. Does that mean that it's guaranteeing you a job? No, nothing guarantees you a job. You may come to an interview naked. So you still have to go on the interview. You still have to perform well in the interview. That's why it's critically important that people have to stop thinking about, tests and licenses and certifications guaranteeing jobs. They do not. This is a step that gets you closer to your objective, but you still have to try to retain as much of the information as possible. And this is why we do field trips and we do hands-on and we do real-world projects where we can allow our team members to go into the field to actually touch the equipment and be a part of repairing and installing and maintaining the equipment, so that when it comes time to actually go on a job interview and they're asking you questions, these things are not coming out of left field. Okay, if you meet the requirements, you will be considered for appointment if your name is reached on the eligible list. So again, with the mailing things and the change of address, people move around, things happen. But if you score highly on the exam and they try to get in contact with you to go on an interview and you're not available, then that's not going to be on them. They're going to move on. Once a list has been established, it will typically remain active for 4 years. Okay, so that means you depending on the job availability, depending on how many oiler positions are available, people retire, you have new facilities, you have expansion of facilities. So many jobs are going to become available relatively soon. And if your name is on that list, depending on the order in which your name appeared on the list, that's the order in which you're going to get called. So this is not one of these situations where you just want to pass a test. You want to score as highly on that test as possible. Okay, if you believe your test was rated incorrectly, you may submit an appeal. So I can tell you with dealing with the FDNY for the last 20 years that, the appeals, I had students who thought that they were treated unfairly back when they had the verbal practical, and they hired lawyers, they contacted politicians, and the only thing that they were given was the opportunity to take the test again. So with this, because there's a finite amount of time in which the test is going to be given, I'm assuming that based on the fact that the application period is from April 5th to April 25th, and the first exam date is going to be on July 10th, I'm assuming that the last exam date is going to be July 30th. So come August 1st, they're probably, and I could be wrong about this, we'll find out, but past August 1st, there might not be an opportunity to take this test for at least another 9 to 10 years.